Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today, this is our lecture of week number 8 of our course analysis of algorithm for class BSSC 6th. In this lecture, we have to cover the following topics. Number 1, hashing, significance of hashing, hash functions, examples using different hash functions, collision resolutions, open addressing with examples, chaining with examples. These are the topic of our today lectures. First topic is hashing. Before going to start the definition of hashing, we try to understand some concept where the hashing is applied. Number 1, dictionaries. Dictionaries stores element so that they can be located quickly using keys. With the help of keys, we can search the record of our database. We can insert, delete or modify the records of our database. So for example, a dictionary may hold bank accounts. That is, we have a bank database and there are different tables in the database, and one of the table which contains the bank accounts data, in which key will be account number. Key of that table is the data file is account number, and each account may stores many additional information like account number is the key, account type, customer name, address, national ID card number, contact number, current balance, etc. There are many different informations attached with this key. With the help of this key, we can access, we can modify, delete, stores data in the table. That is, key plays a very important role in accessing the records in the files or the tables. How to implement a dictionary? Different data structure to realize a key. Arrays uses index to search its different element. With the help of index and the array name, we have an integer array of n, and we want to store some value at the index number 6 of that n array. Then we will assign the value n of 6 is equal to, let's suppose, 50, and we want to store the value 50 at array index 6. The name of array is n. Linked list, it also rely upon the key. Binary tree, hash tables, red black tree, AVL tree and B tree. These are some data structure which rely upon the key, and without the key we cannot search, modify, delete or update the element in these data sets. Why hashing? Now we are going to start our topic, hashing. Why we are using hashing? What is the importance of hashing? The sequential search algorithm takes time proportional to the data size, that is O of n. If you want to search an element from an array sequentially, we want to search an element sequentially from an array, then it will take O of n time. Binary search improves on the sequential or the linear search, reducing the time search to O of log n. This is smaller time than n. N is greater, than log n. So binary search is faster algorithm, and it improves the searching time, and it takes less time to search an element from an array. This is a kind of improvement that we can search an element from an array. If we want to search sequentially, it will take n time. If we use the binary search technique, then it will take log n time. Why hashing? Suppose that we want to store 10,000 students record, 10,000 student records, each with a 5-digit ID. That is, ID means roll number. The roll number of a student is consists of 5 digits. As in the examination, let's suppose my roll number is 562259. This is a 5-digit roll number. So a student may have a 5-digit roll number. Let's suppose 99999, 5 nines. Then it means we need an array of 1 lakh, because in a 5-digit number 99999 roll number may occur, and this roll number is the last one value of 1 lakh. It means we have to reserve an array of 1 lakh data elements for storing the 10 students, and this is not an economical business. A linked list implementation would take O of n time. Using an array of size 1 lakh, which we have already discussed, for 10,000 students we will need 1 lakh memory location of an array. Then it will take it will efficiently search an element, that is in a unit time, O of 1 time. It will search O of 1 time of the record of a student. By giving it the roll number, it will jump to that index which belongs to that specific roll number. Then it will take O of 1 time, and it is very smaller time than O of n. Access time, but will lead to a lot of space wastage. You may see it here that we want to store, or we want to store the record of 10,000 students, but we are reserving 1 lakh memory location. It means 90,000 memory locations have been wasted, and we will not use them in this array. Just accessing the elements of 1 time, we have to reserve the memory in the array of 1 lakh data elements. You can understand it here. We have the following class data of 5 students, not 10,000, because we cannot manage 10,000 students. So we have the following class data of 5 students. Roll number 86, marks 450. Roll number 87, marks 390, and roll number 88, and the marks are 515. Roll number 89, marks are 550. Number 90, and marks are 490. Now these are 2 digits roll numbers, and if we consider it the roll number of a student, that is 86 is the roll number of a student, and I consider it the index of an array, then it will occur. Let's suppose R of 0 to R of 90, R of 0 to R of 90, we have 91 array elements. We have 91 one array elements for storing these 5 elements, because we want to store the value of a student where the marks of the students having roll number 86, and I also want that because array is accessed through its index, so it should be the index of an array. This index is available at this location, and we know that we cannot create an array from index number 86 to index number 90. This is not possible. Array have consecutive memory location, and it starts from 0 index and go onward up to the required index limit. So because we need last 5 index, but for utilizing these 5 index, we have to reserve this memory location, which is from 0 to 85, and this is actually the wastage of array. You can think it like this, okay, how the array works fastly, that is, it inserts the element, it display element, and it modifies the element very quickly in O of 1 time. int r of 91, then it will create from 0 to 90 an array of integer. Let's an statement r of 86 is equal to 450. This is a program statement, and through this statement I want to store the value of 450 at location at index number 86 in an R array. Then this is index number 86 and this is R array, so 450 will be stored here, and you may see it here. R of 860 contains 450. Then I want to store R of 89 is equal to 550. I want to store 550, the marks of students, at index 89, which is also the number of that students in R array. Then R of 89 location will save the 550 value. And if I write count less than R of 86, then the computer will display, computer will quickly access this memory location and fetch the value of 450 and will display it. It means through this statement computer reserves 91 memory location for only 5 records. Just quick processing in O of 1 time, because we want to process the data quickly in O of 1 time. So for 5 records we are the array methodology forced us to reserve 91 memory location, and when we assign 450 a value at the 86 index number 86 of R array, it will take O of 1 time to store the marks in memory. That is, very quickly it will jump to that location and will store the value in unit time. Similarly, second value will be stored in unit time, and then when we will retrieve, it will jump at this memory location, fetch the value and will display. It will also take O of 1 time. Here we can insert, search and delete the record in O of 1 time, that is unit time. But we are wasting a lot of memory space. This memory space is not utilized in this program. This is the limitation of array data structure. That is, array start from index number 0 and move onward, and we are forced to reserve those memory locations which we don't want to utilize. In this situation, Can we perform above operation in O of one time without wasting such a big space? Yes. Hashing solves this problem of wastage of space and perform above operation in O of one time. Now we will see that how the hashing cover the limitation of array, that is it will not waste the memory, and it will store, it will insert, delete or modify the data in O of one time. Why hashing? Is there some way that we could get O of one access without wasting a lot of space? The answer is hashing. How hashing will work? We will see in next slide. This was the previous problem in the array. Now we reserve an array int r of 10. Here we need only 5 memory locations, but we reserve 10 memory locations, and this is not much wastage. There is 5 memory location we will utilize and 5 will be wasted, which is very smaller than 86 memory location which we have which we were wasting in the case of array. A 5 is very smaller than 86. That is, this quantity is very smaller, so it is negligible, and in this way we will cover up our problem, and we will insert the record in O of one time, and we will not waste so much large amount of memory. In this array, the index starts from 0 up to 9, and in this index, this 1 is the prime index number, 2 is also the prime, 3 is prime, 4 is not prime, 5 is prime, 6 is not prime, 7 is prime, and then 8 and 9 are not prime. The biggest prime is 7. We are interested in this large prime number which belongs to the index of this array, what role this large prime number will play in hashing, we will see here. Here we take the same problem, that is class data of 5 students, roll number this, marks this, roll number this, marks this. This was the problem which we have cover up in the array data structure. Now we are covering this problem in hashing. We consider this roll number as the key, because with the help of this roll number we search the record of students, that is marks of students. So we denote it with K, and the K are 86, 89, 87, 88, 89, and then 90. This M, which is the largest prime number of this index, it is denoted with M. So M is 7 everywhere, and this is the hash function. H of k is equal to k mod m. That is, we will take the key. What will be the hash address for k key? That is, if k is equal to 86, we will insert 86 here, 86 here, and 7 here. Then it will become h of 86 is equal to 86 mod 7. 86 mod 7, the value, the remainder become 2, because 7 divides this k value for 12 times. 12 sevens are 84, and the remainder will become 2. Similarly, when we will divide 7 at 87, it will give us the remainder 3, and then for in the case of 86, it will give us the remainder 4. These are actually the hash addresses, the hash keys. These are the substitute, these are the alternative. These are the alternative of these roll numbers. We will not utilize this roll number. Instead of this roll number, we will utilize these hash addresses for the array index. That is, the hash function will apply on this 86 and it will give us this hash address, and at this hash index of the array we will store the record of 86, roll number 86. The roll number 86 marks are 450, so at address 2 R of 2 we will store 450, and for 87 the marks of 87 are 390 and the hash address is 3. At R of 3 location we will store 390. At R of 4 location we store the record of 88, which are 515. R of 4 we will store 515, and similarly for the record of 86, 89, which is the 55 marks, which we scored the 55 marks, so these 55 marks will store at hash address 5. R of 5 contains 550, and similarly the roll number 9, the marks of roll number 9 are 490 and the hash address of 90 is 6. R of 6 location in the array contains 490. In this way we have occupied and we have utilized the 5 memory location of an array of 10 memory elements. So the wastage of array is very smaller, which is negligible as compared to this previous one. This is the advantage of hashing, that hashing don't waste the much more memory, and it works just like an array and takes O of 1 time for inserting, modifying and deleting the value. Now here, if user give a record of roll number 86 for storing the field value of roll number that is considered which is considered as k, using m is equal to 7, value of k is passed through a hash function. This is hash function. H of k is equal to k mod m, and it will give us 2. This record of roll number 86 is then stored at locations 2 in the array. Similarly, the record of other roll numbers are stored at index location 3, 4, 5 and 6 as computed in the table 1. In table 1 we have computed these hash addresses 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against these key values, that is roll numbers. This was a little bit explanation that how hashing works just like an array, and it does not waste much more memory. Hashing, another important and very useful technique for implementing dictionary. Hashing is another important and very useful technique for implementing dictionary. Constant time per operation, that is O of 1. 1 is constant, O of 1 on the average. Like an array, come up with the functions to map the large range into one which we can manage. We have managed the large range into the short one. This was the large range and we have managed this in the short one. This was actually the explanation of this last point. Here, basic idea: use hash functions to map keys into position in a hash table, which we have used in the previous example. Ideally, if student A has ID of key k and h is hash function, then A's detail is stored in position h of k, which is the hash address of the table. To search for A, compute h of k, which we have previously computed. Here we have computed h of k through this function. So to locate the position, and these were the positions of the array: 2 position, 3 position, 4, 5 and 6. These were the location of the position. So to search for A, compute h of k to locate position if no element dictionary does not contains A. Example: let keys be ID of 100 students, and ID is form of like this one. This is the major problem. Students, we have 100 students, but the IDs are like this: 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 0. Now we decided to take A of 100, and hash function is say last 2 digits. Here we are not using the hash function, and we have just decided that our hash function will be the last 2 digits, and just like this. For this we will take 10. For this one, 103062, we will go to the location 62 and we will store the record of this roll number at array index 62. And same, if someone have 113062, this is 103062, this is 113062 roll number, and if a student contains this roll number, then the last 2 digits of this location number are also 62. So this roll number is the candidate for this index, and this roll number is also the candidate for this index, but the array contains only 161 index with number 62, but where only the record of one student can be stored. But this actually this problem is called the collision. Then again goes to the location 62, and this event is called collision. When the collision occurs, there is a mechanism to resolve the collisions, and this mechanism is called collision resolution. So we will take at the end we will resolve this problem of collision. Whenever the collision occurs, how the computer will resolve this problem. Here we have discussed that this problem may occur during the hashing technique. Hash function. A good hash function is one which distributes keys evenly among the slots. That is, the available slots, all the keys should be managed in the available slots. Such a function is called a good hash function, and it is said that hash function is more odd than a science. Hash function is an art. We see how to manage our available memory location for given are the required records, because it need to analyze the data. We analyze the data and then we decide how smart a hash function should to manage this data in the available memory location. Key, then hash function, and then slot. Which this thing you make it. Key is the roll number, hash function we have already seen, and the slots are the concerns of the array which we have discussed here. These are the keys, this is hash function, and these are the slots. 2 is the index number, that is this slot. 3 is the index number, that is this slot. This thing which we were considering, these were the keys, these were the hash function, and there were some slots. This figure depicts that examples and also correspond with that example, that is key, hash function, and then slot. Hash functions need of choose a good hash function. We are required to choose a good hash function which will solve our problem and which will avoid collisions. Such a function is called a good hash function. Quickly compute. It should quickly compute and distribute keys in a uniform manner throughout the table so that the collision should not occur. How to deal with hashing non-integer keys? This is another problem. We previously actually here these were the row number and these were integer, and hash function can be applied on the integer and can construct the new hash addresses in the form of index, and this can be managed very easily. If these keys are not integer, these are, let's suppose key is not a row number, the key of a record is the student name or the student address, then what will happen? How we will create such hash addresses in integer form? This is the problem. If key is not numeric data values but alphabetic or alphanumeric values, then what will happen and how we will create such index or such hash addresses? This was the actually the here how to deal with hashing non-integer keys. Alphanumeric or the alphabetic keys are called non-integer keys. Find some way of turning keys into integer. There should be a there is a way we convert those non-integer keys into integer form. That is, if key is a character, then convert it into integer using its ASCII code. Each character has an ASCII code, and we replace that character with that ASCII code, and we get a big integer value instead of that character's string. Then use standard hash function on the integer. Then at that integer values which we have constructed using the string characters, and we have substituted there the ASCII values, then it become integer, and that integer values using standard hash functions on that integer value we construct the hash addresses. This is the a little bit more efforts will be needed to convert the non-integer keys into integer and then integer to that hash addresses. This is a two-way step. The mapping of keys to indices of a hash table is called hash function. The hash function is usually the composition of two maps. In this case, it is the composition of two maps, a hash code map, that is keys to integer. First mapping is keys to integer, that is Aman. The ASCII code of A is 65, the ASCII code of M is 77, the ASCII code of A is again 65, and the ASCII code of N is 78. So I have converted this key value Aman with this integer. Let M is equal to 97. Then M, this is the, actually we have 100 memory locations because we have 100 or 80 students in a class, and these 80 students can be easily managed in 100 location array. But this integer shows that we needed millions or the billions of data element array, an array of size millions, in millions or billions. But we will convert, we will use only the 100 memory location array. There will be 100 memory location in an array, and in that memory location we will store the 80 records. We will not waste the memory using the hashing technique. Let in 100 memory location the largest prime number is 97, then this integer value mod m is equal to 5 is converted. Mod m in 97. When we divide 97 at this, the remainder is 5. This 5 is the hash value. This is second method. This integer is converted into this 5. First, this non-integer value, that is the alphabetic string, is converted into integer, and then this integer using the hash function is converted into hash address. This is two-way mapping. So hash code map keys to integer, this key is to integer, and then compression map. This integer key is compressed into smaller one, so we have compressed this keys and find its substitute, that is 5. This has been compressed into 5. If the current location is used, try the next table location. Linear probing. There are two kinds of solution for solving the collision. If the current location is used, try next table location. Use less memory than chaining, as one does not have to store all those links, that is address of other. How the linear probing works. This is the methodology, that is it uses, if the location is occupied, it uses the next available location, and its advantage is that it uses less memory location than chaining. Chaining is another method to resolve the collision problem. Slower than chaining. It is linear probing is slower than chaining. Chaining is faster and it is slower. This is the limitation of linear probing, that it is slower. The advantage of chaining is it is faster. Ideal hash example. Here are, let's suppose we have, this is a key and this is the record which we want to store. This is key, this is record, key, record, key, record, this is record. Key and then value, that is record. It is a pair. Hash table is HT. HT means hash table of 0 to 7, because we have 5 records, so 8 memory locations are enough. 0 to 7 we have 8 memory locations. M is equal to 8, where M is the number of positions in the hash table. Hash function H is k percent M, that is k percent 8. K is 22, and 22, when we will divide 22 by 8, then 8 2s are 16, and we will get 6. It means this 22, where the record the value of 22, that is A, it will be stored at location 6. You may see that 22 having record A has been stored at location 6, while 33, when the key is 33 divided by 8, we have 1, so this will be stored at location 1. 33 comma C has been stored at 1, and similarly 3D, this record will be stored 3% 8 3 divided by 8, 8 zeros are 0, remainder is 3. This record will be stored at location 3. This is the third location number 3 of the array, where we have stored this record. And similarly this one, when will 8 9s are 72, the remainder is 0. Similarly 72 comma E, this record will be stored at location 0. This has been stored at location 0. And 85 comma 5, 10s are 80 and remainder is 5, so this will be stored at location number 5. 85 comma 5 has been stored at 5 location. This was the implementation. That's how ideal, this was the ideal hashing, that is no collisions have been occurred here. Such a situation is called ideal hashing situation. Characteristics of a good hash function, that is, before constructing a hash function we should consider the following points. The hash value is fully determined by the data being hashed. The hash value should be fully determined by the data being hashed, which we want to which kind of data which we want to manage, or we want to create its hash value. It should be fully determined. The hash function uses all the input data. All the input data, it is the responsibility of hash function that it has to utilize all the input data and create the hash addresses. Hash function uniformly distributes the data across the entire set of possible hash values. And when we create the largest, when we assign the value to m memory to variable m, when we assign the value largest prime value to m, this largest prime value of m actually try to distribute the data uniformly in the array without avoiding the collisions. The hash function generates very different hash values for similar strings. This is the hash function generates very different hash values. This is the characteristic that it should generate different hash values for similar strings. This is the responsibility of hash function. Hash functions method, hashing method, division method. In division hash method, the key k is divided by some number m, and this should be the largest prime, and the remainder is used as the hash address when we will get the remainder using division. Then that remainder will be we will call that remainder as hash address of the k. H of k is equal to k mod m. This gives the indexes in the range from 0 to m-1. So the hash table should be of size m or a little bit larger than m. Let's suppose m is 97, the array size may be 100. This is an example of uniform hash function if value of m will be chosen carefully. If we choose the value of m very carefully, it should be prime. If it is odd or even which has many factors, then it will not uniformly distribute the value in the array. So we should choose the value of m wisely. Generally, a prime number is best choice which will spread keys evenly, which this we have already discussed. That is, the prime number and the largest prime number is the best choice which will spread the keys evenly. A uniform hash function is designed to distribute the keys roughly evenly into available position within the array or the hash table. This such a hash function is called uniform hash function. Examples: consider the company. In the above example, each of whose 68 employees. A company have 68 employees and assigned the uniquely 4-digit employee number. Each employee has an employee number, and the digit in the employee numbers are the 4 digits. That is, an employee may contain 5923. The second employee may contains an employee number 9237, and there may be an employee which contains an employee number 9999. It means 9999 means less than 10,000, one less than 10,000. So if an employee contains an employee number 9999, then we will have to reserve an array of 10,000 memory location for only 68 records, which is a very much loss of or the wastage of memory. But using hashing, we will use only the 100 memory locations for 68 employees, and in 100 memory location, there is not much more wastage of memory. Suppose L consists of 100 2-digit addresses, that is 00, 01, 02 up to 99. From 0 to 99 we have 100 addresses. We apply the above hash functions to each of the following employee numbers. Let's suppose we have initially 3 employees having these employee number, and we want to create the hash addresses using division method. This is division method, and our hash function is h of k is equal to k mod m. Then choose a prime number m, because we have 100 memory location, so m close to 99, such as m should be 97. 99 is not a prime number, so 97 is the largest prime number in 100 memory location. Then h of 3205 is equal to 4, h of 7148 is equal to 67, and h of 2345 is equal to 17. h of 2345 is equal to 2345 mod 97. We will use this hash function. H of k is 2345, k is 2345. Here we will use 2345, and the value of m we have decided it is 97. We are using here 97, and when we will divide it at the key, the remainder is 17, and this is the hash address. Here it is 17, and that is dividing this by 97 gives a remainder of 4 in this case, and dividing this by 97 gives the remainder 67. This was the case, and dividing this by 97 gives a remainder of 17, which we have considered here. In the case that the memory addresses begins with 01 rather than 00, we choose that the hash of h of k is equal to k mod m plus 1. Actually, in an array, if we are using the C programming language, the array index starts from 0 and goes up to 1 less than the size of array. But there are some programming language whose index does not start from 0, it starts from 1. Then what will happen if there occurs a remainder, and that we receive a remainder 0 from a hash function? Then there will be no 0 index in such programming language whose index starts from 1. Then in such situation we utilizes this hash function, that is k mod m plus 1. If the 0 remainders is evaluated or computed here, then it should be added with 1, and it will make the index number 1, because such programming language does not contain the 0 index. So that 0 index which this hash function will create, we will add that 0 with 1, and we will make it 1 index for those programming languages. This is another form of this hash function. For C it is suitable, but for other memory programming languages, this hash function may be utilized for hashing operations. There is another method. This was the division method. First one method was the division method, and this is mid-square method. The following calculations are performed in mid-square. These are the key values which we have processed here in previous example, 3205, 7148, and this one we are considering the same keys again using this mid-square method. These are the key, and we are squaring this key, that k, this is k and this is k square. So this is 3205, and this is the square of 3205. This is 7148, and this is the square of 7148, and 2345, and this is the square of 2345. H of k is mid square. This is square and mid. What is mid? We left 3 in the right and 3 in the left. The middle value becomes 72. So we will take 72. Mid square method actually take the square of key value and then extracts a 2-digit number from the middle of that square result. So here we will left 510 towards right, towards left, and 904 towards right, and the middle value is 93. So its hash address will become 93, and the hash address of this we will left 0 to 5 from in the right, and 054 here it is 054 in the left. The middle value is 99, so we will take 99. Observe that the fourth and the fifth digits counting from the right are chosen for the hash address. Fourth and fifth. This is the fourth and this is the fifth. 72. This is the fourth digit. 1, 2, 3, and this is fourth and fifth. This is fourth and fifth digits. From the left is our hash address. It is also called Metzger method. Another technique is called the folding method. Chopping the key K into two parts and adding yields the following hash addresses: H of 3205. This we will apply the hash address using folding method. That is 32 is added with 05. 32 is added with 05, and it becomes 37. 37 is the hash address, and at 37 location we will store the value of 3205 or the record of 3205 employee. Similarly, 714548. 71 is added with 48, and it becomes 19. It does not become 19. 8 plus 1 is equal to 9, and 4 plus 7 is equal to 11. 119, but we discard the last one and will take 19. Here H of 2345, we add 23 with 45. 23 is added with 45, and it becomes 68, and 68 is the hash address for this employee, for storing the record of this employee, that is 2345. This is the employee number, and this employee number contains many other information just like account numbers, because account number is the key value and it contains the name of the customer, contact address of the customer, national ID card number of the customer, and the balance amount of the customer. So each and every key value contains many other information, and those information will be stored at location 68. Observe that the leading digit 1 is H in H of 7148 is ignored. In this case we have ignored it become 119, and we have ignored the last one, and which we accepted only 19. Alternatively, one may want to reverse the second part before adding, thus producing the following hash addresses. This can also be utilized, that we take the first of in the straightforward manner, and the last two digits we reverse it. This 05 is reversed to 50, and then added, it becomes 86. And in this case we take 17, and last two digits 48 is reversed, and it becomes 84. And when we will add, it will become 155, and 155 we will take only 55. H of 23 we will take 23, and we will reverse 45 into 54, and we will add this. This is also the technique of folding method, that we reverse the last part and we will take the first part straightforward. This was the third technique of hashing method. Here we will study the collisions resolution. We have already discussed that how the collision occur. In our daily life, we see that when we want to go a bus station, and we want to reserve a seat for the traveling from one city to other city, the conductor or the manager or the ticket checker give us the ticket number 17. All the passengers take their own tickets, and there is another passenger. The ticket checkers also give that passenger the ticket number 17. And at the time when the bus starts to travel or starts its journey, then the both passengers try to get the same seat, and here the collision occurred. They collide with each other. One said that this is my seat, and other say that I have reserved this seat and this is my seat. So the conductor and the drivers try to resolve the issue, and the one is given the seat in the back location while the other take the same seat, and in this manner they resolve the issue and go onward and start their journey. Such a kind of this is the daily life example of collisions, that how the collision occur and how it is resolved, that some blank or the some available location is given to one record and the other take the original location. This such a kind of situation we will deal in linear probing, and like the example of bus station, such a technique will be adopted in this linear probing or open addressing. Linear probing or open addressing example: suppose the table T has 11 memory locations. We have a table or the array of 11 memory locations, and suppose the file consists of 8 records. We have 8 records, A, B, C, D up to Z. 8 records can easily be stored at 11 memory locations, and the 3 memory locations are extra. So we have enough space in the hash table to store the 8 records. Following our hash addresses, we have these addresses, we have these records, and there are some keys which cannot be utilized to store the data in the array. So using hash function, we have constructed these hash addresses. You may see that in our previous example here, we are not using these keys. Instead of these keys, we are utilizing these hash addresses, and in that example, these hash addresses were constructed for storing the record A, B, C, D, E, X, Y, Z. These were the record. Here the records are the marks of the students, and we have stored these marks at these hash addresses. So the records and the hash addresses are actually working in hashing, and the hash key is has become behind the scene, is working behind the scene. This is situation here. In case of this, that we have the records and we have hash values, that is the indices has been constructed as in the case of previous example. Suppose the 8 records are entered into the table T in the above order, then the file F will appear in the memory as follows. When we will manage these records in the 11 memory location, these are the 11, 1 to 11 are the memory location, and we have stored those records in this memory location. There occurs some collisions. The record A wants to store its record at memory location 4 or the hash address 4, and E also wants to store itself at location 4. Similarly, the D wants to store itself at location 11, and X is also the candidate to store itself at location 11. So collision may occur in many records. So how the linear probing resolve this? This has been resolved here, but we will see it that how it has resolved this issue. This here we have resolved the issue, but how we have resolved, we see it here. Let's suppose we have we do not have this table. This is the record and these are the hash addresses. How we will manage in these 11 memory location. Table T contains these memory location are the hash addresses and we have to store this. Let's suppose A is the record and A want to store itself at index 4. This is index 4 and we store it here. Next is the record B, and record B, the hash address of the record B is 8. So we want to store at index 8, store itself at index 8. Is the 8 index location available? Yes. We store the B here. We have stored the B here. Next, C, its hash address is 2. Is the index location 2 available in the array? Yes, 2 is available. It is blank. So we will store, if it is available, we will store it there. D hash, the hash address of D is 11 and D want to store itself at index 11. Is the index 11 available? Yes, index 11 is blank and available, so we will store the D here. Next, it is E. The hash address of E is 4 and E want to store itself at index number 4. Is the 4 index available? No, it is not available. Then we will search onward and see the available location. Yes, the next location 5 is available. We will store E here. Next, X, the hash address of X is 11. Is 11 location available for storing X? No, 11 is not available. It has been occupied by D. So in circular way it will turn and will come to next location. The next location of the last is this one, starting location. So starting location is available. Yes, X will be stored here. X will be stored at this memory location. Next, the record is Y and the hash address of Y is 5. Is the 5 available? No, the 5 location, the 5 index is not available. The E has occupied this location. It will search onward and will see the blank or the available location. 6 is the next blank or the available location, so Y will be stored here. If the location required location is already occupied, then it will search for onward and will see the blank location and available location, and at that blank or available location the record will be stored. So Y contains the hash address 5, but 5 it has been stored at location 6. Z, hash address of Z is 1. Is the index number 1 in the array or in the hash table available? No. Is the index number 2 available? No. Is the index number 3 available? Yes. The sequentially onward 3 is available. The Z will be stored here. This was the situation, and you may see it here that this situation we have managed here. You may see that X at location 1, C at 2, Z as 3. x1, c2, z3, a4, a is at 4, e is 5, y is 6, y is at location 6, 7 is blank here, the 7 memory location is blank, b is stored at 8, b at index 8, and 9 and 10 are blank here, 9 and 10 are blank, and d is stored at 11, d is stored. This was the technique through which we have stored the record in the 11 memory location. 8 records have been stored. Three are the more locations where we can store the record, and 3 more records can be stored here. Although y is the only record with hash address hfk is equal to 5, the record is not assigned to t of 5 location. T of 5 location was already occupied by E, since T of 5 has already been filled by E because of a previous collisions at T of 4. Similarly, Z does not appear in T of 1. The Z wanted to store itself at location 1, but one location was occupied by X, two location was occupied with C, and 3 was the available location, so Z was stored at 3. The average number S of probes for a successful search, because when Y see that my location is not available, it searches the blank location. So for the next location, next record, if the hash address of the next record is 1, then where how many search will that record perform to get or to avail the blank location? Blank location is 7, its hash address is 1, so 1 is not available, then it will see the second location. It is also occupied, then third, then fourth, fifth, sixth, and then seventh is available. It will store itself here. This probabilities we are going to calculate here, that what is the probability to search the next coming record, that is the 9th record. If there is a ninth record, then how we will store that record in this hash table. You may see it here. If the 9th record hash address is 1, then it will, and the 1 location is occupied, it will go onward and will jump these 6 memory location and will store itself at 7. So no, these are the successful search that we have already performed here. Unsuccessful search we will see later. Successful search means A hash address of A is 4 was available, and it has the A has stored at 4 location, so its search is 1. That is on the first search it got its storage location where it want to store. Similarly, B hash address is 8, was 8 available, and B has stored itself at the proper location according to its hash address. Yes, then it will take 1 that is unit time to search its actual location. C2, C has stored at locations 2, it will also take 1 unit time. And then D is equal to 11, D has stored at location 11, then it will also take unit time. But E hash address is 4 was already occupied, so E searched the blank location and it stored itself at location 5, so 2 unit time will it take to store itself. So we will successful search. We consider here the time 2 for E. Similarly, x hash address is 11. The 11 was already occupied by D. It search the next location, that is 2 search. After 2 search, it got the blank location and store itself at location 1. So here we have taken the 2 unit time. For Y, we have taken the hash address of Y is 5. 5 is already occupied, and the next blank location 6 was available. So we have stored the Y at location 6. So it has taken 2 unit time. Similarly 3. Why it is 3? Because the Z hash address of Z is 1. 1 was not available, it searched for 2. 2 was also not available, it searched for 3. 3 was blank, it stored itself at location 3. So it takes 3 unit time to got its location where it has stored itself. So because these were the successful search, and which record take how much time for searching its successful location. Total record was 8. We will sum up. The sum is 13 divided by 8. Probability is 1.6. Each record has 1.6 probability to store itself at proper location. This was the calculation for successful search. And the average number of unsuccessful, you mean unsuccessful approach or unsuccessful search, we will take it as follows. Let's suppose there were 11 memory location. The next record, the hash address of the record number 9 is 1, but 1 is already occupied, 2 is 3 is 4 is 5 and 6 is occupied. This 7 location is available, so the 9th record will store itself at location number 7 while its hash address was 1. So it took 7 searches to get its blank or the available location. We will take it 7. Let the record, the hash address of the next record was 2. So it will come to this 2 location. 2 was occupied. It will see 3. 3 is also occupied. 4, 5, 6 these are occupied. 7 is available. So it has searched 6 locations and got the blank locations to store itself. So we will take here, that is 6 searches were unsuccessful, 5 were unsuccessful, and the 6 was the successful search to get the location. Similarly, let's suppose the next record, the hash address of the next record was 3, but 3 is occupied. It will search for blank location, then it will skip the 4 record, that is location 3, 4, 5 and 6. These will, after skipping these 3, it will get the available location. So 5th location was the available, so we will take it 5, unsuccessful search for 5. Similarly, for if the address of the next record is 5, hash address of the next record is 5. 5 is also available. 5 is not available. Address is 4. Sorry, 4 is not available. Then 5 is not, 6 is not, 7 is available. So after 4 searches, it will store itself. Similarly, if the hash address is 5, after 3 searches, it will guard the blank. If the hash address is, the next record is 6, after 2 searches, it will take this. If the hash address of the next record is 7, then it will take the blank location. So we will take, that is at unit time, it will store itself. And similarly, if the hash address of the next record is 8, 8 is occupied, so we will search onward and will get the ninth location blank, so it will take 2 unsuccessful search to store itself. Similarly, if the hash address of the next record is 9, then it will store itself after one search. If the hash address of the next record is 10, the 10 is available, so at one unsuccessful search it will store itself. Similarly, if the hash address of the next record is 11, then 11 is occupied, it will go here. 1 is also occupied, 2, 3, 4, 6 are occupied, 7. So after its unsuccessful search, it will guard the blank location. It is it. Total memory location were 11, and these values are 11. We will divide at 11. Sum of 40 divided by 11, 3.6. For each memory location, the probability is 3.6 for unsuccessful search. The first sum adds the number of probes to find each of the 8 records, and the second sum adds the number of probes to find an empty location for each of the 11 locations. We have searched the empty location. And this was the linear probing technique. Similarly, the next technique for solving the resolution is chaining. It involves maintaining 2 tables. Instead of 1 table, it maintains 2 tables in memory. First of all, as in open addressing, there is a table T in memory. There was a table T in open addressing, and there is also a table T in chaining method, which contains the record in file F, except that F now has an additional field link. There is another table with name link, which is used so that all records in T with the same hash address H may be linked together to form a linked list. It utilizes the linked list data structure and resolve the problem. Second, there is a hash address table list which contains pointers to linked list in T. Suppose a new record R with key K is added to the file F. We place R in the first available location in the table T and then add R to the linked list with pointer list of H of K. If the linked list of the records are not stored, then R is simple inserted at the beginning of its linked list. Searching for a record or deleting a record is nothing more than searching for a node or deleting a node from the linked list. This is actually the previous problem, and we are resolving the collision here. A and E are colliding because they wanted to store itself at the same location. D and X are colliding because they wanted to store at 11 location. So the same problem, how we will solve this same problem? Using chaining, the record will appear in the memory as shown in the figure above. Observe that the location of the record R in the table T is not related to its hash address. This is the list which contains 11 memory location. This was the table 11 memory location because the given table contains 11 memory location. T has 11 memory location. This is the given example which we want to solve here. 11 memory location, and this is another table T with link and information. This was the problem which we have to resolve here, and whose record we have to store here in the table. Let record A want to store itself. A will be stored here, and in this table its index is 1. We will store its hash address is 4. At this 4 address we will write here 1. At this location we will write 1. Let's suppose Here we have 1. Then B, second record. The hash address of second is 8. We store B here. In table T, we store B in the next location. The index of next location is 2. These 2 indices saved at 8 hash address. At 8 hash address, it is 2. 2 is the index of this table, and at 2 index we have stored B. The next is C. C is stored at the next location. This is C. The index of C is 3 here, but the hash address of C was 2. In this list of 11 memory location, at index 2 we have stored the at hash address 2 we have stored the index 3 of table T, because C has been stored here at location 3. Next record is D. The hash address of the D is 11. We have stored D at location 4 in this table, because it was the 4th record. At 4th location we have stored it, but the index, its index 4 is stored at hash address 11, but it is 6 here. B. Here it was 4. D has stored at 4 location in this table, and this index is stored at the hash address 11, because this is the hash address of this record. At hash address we have stored the index, and at this index we have stored the actual record T. Similarly, E hash address of E is 4. We have stored 4 E here at index 5, and you may see it here that the hash address 4, the one index is already stored. It was the index of A. 1 was the index of A. So we will store the next index 5. E has been stored at index 5, and we will store here 5. We will delete this one. 1 has been deleted. We have stored here 5, and after this E we have stored that one here. That is, whenever A want to search itself, it will come to hash address 4. This is the 4 hash address. It will jump to 5 index, that is A is stored at 5, but here is no A. But this link will guide it, that is, there may be at the A may be at index 1, so it will go to index 1 and it will search A. Similarly, X has 11. X is the 6th record. We will store it at index 6. Y is the 7th record. We will store it at 7. Z is the 8th record. We will store it at location 8 here. In this table we will store them straightforward, but those index will be stored at the hash addresses of the list. So X has 11 hash address. X is the 6th record. It is stored here in this table at locations at index 6, but this 6 index it want to store at its hash address where already 4 is stored. So we will delete this 4 and we will store here 6. We will store it 6, and when we will go here, that 4 will be stored here after this record in next link. So whenever we want to store D, we want to search G or X, we both have same memory location. For D, it will jump to hash address 11. Hash address 11 will indicate that go and look the record D at location at index 6. It will jump to 6. At 6 it is X, but X will get that go to 4 location and you will guard the D. At 4 location it has got D. Similarly, Y is the 7th record. It will store at index 7, but its hash address, it will at hash address this 7 will be stored. Hash address is 5. At 5 location 7 is stored. The next record is Z. Z is the 8th record, so at index number 8 Z will be stored, but the hash address of Z is 1. At location 1, this 8 we will store this 8 at location 1. Hash address 1, 8 has been stored. This 8 will jump to this location and we will guard Z, because hash address of Z is 1. From 1 we will go to 8. From 8 we will guard Z. This method is called chaining, and in this method it resolves the collision. Using chaining, the record will appear in memory as shown in the figure. Observe that the location of the record R in the table T is not related to its hash address. A record is simply hash address. Let's suppose A is not stored at its hash address, but A is stored at 1, and B is stored as 2, C is stored at 3, third record is stored at 3, fourth record has stored at 4th location, while their hash addresses were different. A record is simply put in the first node in the list of the table T. In fact, T need not have the same number of elements as the hash address table. There may be many memories location in table T, more than 11, or there may be 50 memory location or 100. The main disadvantage of chaining is that one need 3 memory cells for the data. 3 memory cells. The first memory cell, the second memory cell, and this is the third memory cell for storing the data. Especially there are n cells for the information field. Information field contains m, that is 14 or 15 memory. There are n cells for the link field. This is link field. It is also 14 memory location. Information 14, link 14, and there are n cells for the pointer array list. There are also the n cells or 11 cells. This was the chaining method which resolved the collision. This was the end of the lecture. Allah Hafiz.